Never dispose of the pen, I'm at it again, we close to the end. The older I get, emphatic I am. They try to pretend, they try to be friend, wreak havoc instead. Look at the trends, can't comprehend my dramatic ascent. I'm heavenly sent, they try to condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man. Yeah, different vision, but the same goes.
Sure.
Big collision.
What up, Shawnee Shawn?
What up?
What up, Yabush? What's going on, Yazbooshes? Welcome, everyone, to episode 1063. Come on in, pinch your nips. Pinch your nips for daddy. Jeb's pinching his nips.
Every day, all day.
We're talking confusion today, Beaches. I hope you're confused. If you're confused, Jeb and I are here to unconfuse you. We're going to unfuck your brain pieces.
Unfuck it.
Oh, shit. I got to get that ready.
Get what ready?
Grab the IG. Yeah, there you go. Party foul. Almost forgot lots of the peoples. Almost forgot Instagram today. What's up, Ben? Fuck working nights. You ever work nights, Jeb? You ever work do a night shift? Like nights? Have you?
Like an overnight? Like overnight night shift? Or like teaching at night?
There's no other kind. You either work nights or you don't work nights.
No, never like a full job where I work nights.
Nights, yeah.
There's a couple odds and ends jobs I've done. Remember the floor? That was almost an all-nighter.
That was one day.
That was one day. Well,
no,
I said odds and ends.
Talking about working nights.
No. My dad works nights.
Do you work nights?
Negative. I couldn't do it, man.
Could if you had to.
That's true.
I don't recommend it.
But I don't have to.
I don't recommend it. I'll fuck you up.
Yeah. Never dispose of the pen. I'm at it again. We close to the end. The older I get, emphatic I am. They try to
you got a workout partner in there or what? Me? Workout partner. I got a podcast partner.
Yeah. Got your boy.
My fiance just got back on nights. It's hitting me hard.
Big collision off the main road. That's the beaten path where my brain goes. Fuck the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in my brain lobes. Hella gross as far as revenue goes. Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset, all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though. All of these stats are depressingly low. Why your girl think I'm a specimen though? Drones and them perks is my medicine though. There's no comparison. Black in America, little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant.
It's cutting out all the time.
Yours is?
No, sometimes the streaming cuts out.
Drop the investment in Silicon Valley. All this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they breaking the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors at labels is testing.
Oh, I'm not.
Now you are.
Oh, hey.
Now we're offline.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, test equals. My goodness, that's loud. Welcome, everyone, to episode 1063 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps, and we got the lights are down. They're dimmed. I'm going to actually go raise them a little bit. Say what up to Jeb, everyone. Say hi, Jeb. Speak.
Hey, what's going on,
use your
everyone?
words. There you go, buddy.
Use my mouth.
There you go. Time to clear the ear holes. What up, you fucktards? It's your boy Papa Swolio, episode 1063. We're going to talk confusion today. I am fucking confused about all you fucking monkeys that think that you can confuse your body, that think you can confuse your body with calories and with carbs and with exercise. We're going to talk about confusion today. So everyone say hi to Jeb. Jeb's in the house. If you didn't catch yesterday's episode 1062, he's in here for a few days, so he'll be in and out, whether or not he'll be here for every episode. But as long as it's rainy and nasty and shitty outside, he'll be here.
This is brutal.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's gray. It's rainy. It's not nice, and it may not get nice for a couple more days, but we hope so.
It will. It'll turn around.
We hope so. We hope so. Usually it doesn't look this gray and overcast, which usually means it'll stay for a few days, but Florida weather can be transient at times. So it's been like a few days of kind of like funky weather. He wrote confused wrong in the back intentionally. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good that there's a K you can't see on.
Or did he? Now I'm confusing you.
You can't see on the board because my fucking big fat fucking head is in the way. Hi, Jeb. Swole needs to lend you some hair. Ooh. Baby, lock the door. Turn the lights down low. You fucking right.
Hitting sensitive subjects already.
Yogasms are a legit thing. Some can actually have an orgasm. Some people can have an orgasm. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. Yogasms. No, that's not a real thing. People are having orgasms doing yoga. Everyone's just making things up. Some people just fucking come on command. It's a real thing.
Snap of the fingers.
If you can make it up, it's a real thing now. If you can just make it up, if you can just think of something, it's real now because I said it.
Because who's that person to call you a liar?
I saw it online.
You know what I mean?
I saw it online.
Yeah,
I saw it online.
It's definitely true.
I saw it online. Of course. It must be real.
Absolutely.
It must be real if I saw it on the interwebs. Has anyone here had a yoga orgasm? Is that where this conversation is going to go? Confusion. I'm doing keto kettlebells every day along with my CrossFit vegans. I've done a post before that there's nothing more annoying than a CrossFit vegan. A vegan CrossFitter, because they just talk about what they eat and what they train
do.
all the time.
Yeah.
That's all they do. That's all they do is they talk about how they don't fucking eat animals, and they save the fucking animals. Saving the fucking animals. It's wonderful. Good. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Any vegans watching? I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you're a vegan. I just don't need to hear about it. I meant tan confusion. How fired up is Jeb for the Browns? We'll keep the football talk to a limit, but you can open with that if you want to answer that directly.
God.
He's excited.
Insanely fired up. We kind of hit upon it yesterday. It's a great time to be a Browns fan. There's plenty of room on the bandwagon, everyone. Plenty of room. Seats nice and warm right next to me.
There's plenty of room. There's been plenty of
room for the last 20 years.
Plenty of room for 30 fucking years.
It's pretty much been an empty bus.
Dude, remember we went to the game? The Browns bus? Remember like the...
Oh, geez, the tailgating is...
What was it called? It was called like the Dog Pound bus.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of them. I think the best part about that whole
one with like the dog on the bus where they fiberglassed it around.
To put a little background. So when I moved back up to Cleveland from South Florida, Dash and I went on an epic road trip, and we stopped in we stopped in Atlanta for a night. We stopped in Nashville, which you had a great experience in.
We stopped in Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Well, not really. Not the city, though.
Just the outskirts. But then we went to Nashville, which was a great time, especially for you. And then we went to Cincinnati and then up to Cleveland. So the day we got to Cleveland was a Saturday. We had tickets to go to see the Browns play against the Patriots on Sunday, which is an absolute disaster. That was a nightmare because we lost like 35-0. It was absolutely worst case scenario. But we had tickets in the dog pound, like first row. We went down. We had our first row tickets for like the first quarter. And when we went down to get the seats, there was somebody already sitting in those seats. So we kicked them out. We're like, hey, we're in this. We had like seat AA or whatever. We're like, we have these seats.
What does that have to do with the bus?
So we kicked people out. Well, nothing with the bus. But we kicked people out of seats that turned out not to be even our seats because we got kicked out of those seats.
To like the seats right behind. So we didn't go far.
So we kicked people out of their seats that we did not have tickets to.
Well, there were our seats more than theirs.
There absolutely was.
If they were up for grabs, there were our fucking seats. If there were seats up for grabs, there were our seats.
Oh yeah.
Was the Swole Motion video? I don't know what you mean. What happened in Nashville? This is like a year ago. I just got drunk. This is like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like 3
years
ago. Yeah,
it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Wow, time flies.
Well, about 2.5 years. When I moved back up.
3.
It was October of 2016.
Yeah, like almost 3 years. I'm a Dolphins fan. No good time for us. Miami fans or Florida sports are garbage.
Yeah,
the fans are garbage because the people suck in Florida. The people are shitty.
Sure.
The people are shitty. I don't like living here. I like the weather. The people, I don't care for the people. No offense if you live in Florida, but Florida is different though. South Florida is different than Florida.
Yeah,
I don't consider them the same thing.
They're definitely not the same thing.
But I do not like the people at all. Because no one speaks English, so you don't have to like the people. You don't have to know the people. No one speaks your language, and it's like New York City with just more heat. That's what Florida is. Very transient. But what's interesting is people think that Miami is Miami. Like, oh, I'm going to Miami. People picture Miami South Beach, when Miami is probably the most segregated, organized, right? Like every single area of Miami is a completely different state or country.
It does have you. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like Doral is Colombia,
Yeah, true.
It's like a completely
Argentinian Colombian mix. Yeah,
mostly probably I think. Yeah. So all that, and then you have Little Haiti. Then you have, the Homestead area. Then you have the Keys, which are different. But then you have Coral Gables, and then you have the actual South Beach tourist spot. You have Hialeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these different, they're really, really distinct. I guess that's like New York City. Any big city's really kind of, so it's certainly not a melting pot, really. It depends on where you go. Miami here. It's all right. It's all right. You can still live here. There are some decent people here. I just tease about the people being shitty. But it's once you leave there, you realize, oh, people are really nice and conversational, and you can, well, give your experience. Speak up.
Well, just down here, people are terrible here.
Give your opinion.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
We were walking the beach yesterday, walking the dog. We went across like 2 different people, right? Not a single one of them said, well, besides the woman that was walking her dog.
That doesn't know how to use her leash?
Doesn't know how to use her leash. That was hilarious.
Fucking dumb bitch.
There was 2, we walked past 2 individuals, and they were older couples, and they didn't even make eye contact with us, didn't say hello to us, just avoid it. Dude, up in Ohio, like you walk past people like, hey, how you doing? You like stop and talk to each other.
You have a full conversation, which I'm not down with either, but at least.
Well, it doesn't have to be a full, but it's at least you stop for a moment. Exchange pleasantries.
Sometimes
you
can't get them to stop talking.
Yeah, sometimes you get that old timer up there that just like literally wants to talk to you and get to know your whole life story.
I fought in the big war.
Exactly.
I fought in the big war. I fought in the big war.
Tell me your name. Where you from?
Where you're from? What's your social? I lived in Doral when I was going to. Yeah, well, Doral's right down in Doral.
Yeah.
Swole lunch. South Florida's another planet. Yeah, fuck South Florida. South Florida's okay. It's okay if you're visiting for a short period of time. Vegans, we get it. You have an ideological eating disorder. I don't know. I think it's funny how. Anyway, let's get into the topic because we'll talk about vegans. So, here's the point that I wanted to make with today's episode, because I've been getting a bunch of questions and I get sent a lot of content about different things for nuts on chin videos on YouTube and just stuff to rage on for the podcast. And I got a couple things. I got one was from the last episode I did of DWG about that shitball Vince about his carb confusion. So to give you some context, this guy was doing some ad for women about carb confusion. You can have pizza and lose weight. You can have this. It's like, sure, if you have 500 calories a day and you go on the concentration camp diet, you're going to lose some fucking weight. So there's this debate that goes on. Everyone loves to count calories and micromanage. I feel like that's no way to live.
Yeah.
If you're counting everything, if you're eating good food, you're not going to overeat, or you're much less likely to overeat if you're eating real food. You know this. It's hard to eat quality food in excess.
Correct.
Like to get fat, if you're lifting too and exercising, try eating real food
and getting
unless you're trying to like stuff your face, because you know what it's like to
consistently
bulk.
and constantly. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And it's an effort. It's a conscious effort to consume
most people
that much.
don't know that. They think bulking, oh, I'm going to eat some food in bulk. It's a focused, targeted effort of just eating and
Yes.
eating and eating and like,
And
oh,
then
what time is it? I need to eat 500 more calories. I'm
Right.
full. Doesn't matter. Here's
Yeah.
another meal for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now,
I'm
you remember,
stuffed.
you
I
remember
have
bulking.
To, it's a laborious effort because you have to consistently. You're stuffed, and then you're like, shit. I still have to eat the sweet
You
potato.
have
This
to.
whole sweet potato
You
still.
have
and
to. Yes.
And you're like nauseated by the thought of stuffing more food down
And
your
it
throat.
has to go in.
Yes.
Like
It has
it has to go in the
Correct.
hole. It has to go in. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to eat.
Eating became a chore versus like, oh, I enjoy eating.
It's work.
Yeah, it is work.
It's work. And that's what I always tell people about bulking. People talk about bulking. I get upset when people talk about bulking casually. They talk about it casually, like it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do some. I'm gonna bulk for a few months, right?
Yeah,
How about
do some light bulking?
right? I'm light bulking.
I'm just bulking.
I'm just bulking.
I'm just gonna bulk
I'm just gonna do a
today.
little light
Yeah.
bulk.
I just woke up this morning.
Yeah,
Just wanted to
just
gain a
gonna do-
couple. Just pump.
Gonna bulk from 8 to 12, and then I'm gonna cut from 12 to 4.
Do some intermittent
And
fasting.
I'm gonna do some intermittent
Intermittent bulking.
Intermittent bulking.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. Intermittent bulking.
That's it. That's the new fitness craze that we can create.
Intermittent bulking. I'm gonna
just stuffing your face.
I'm gonna bulk from 2 to 3.
Yeah, just
2 to
stuffing.
3.
Yeah, just 2 hours of just stuffing your mouth,
Stuff face for 2 hours.
and then just casual
Intermittent
eating
bulking.
after that. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. So most people, when they talk about bulking, it's super casual. It's super transient. They discuss it like, oh, I'm just going to do this, as if you just casually. I don't even like when people, I'm going to bulk for 3 months. I don't think you can just
Bulk for 3 months.
I
Well,
think.
I mean, you can.
Well, you can, but like, are you going to really? Like, how much are you gonna maintain after a 3-month bulk? You're gonna fucking gain, and then you're gonna lose it all.
Yeah.
Like, how much muscle do you put in naturally in a couple months? A few pounds, maybe, if you're doing it perfectly. Like, 2 to 3 pounds a month, I think, is like the natural max. Like, if you're crushing it,
Sure.
and doing everything. Not to mention your body. If you've been training for 15 years, you're exposed to more. It's hard to stimulate.
Well, that's it. Maybe that's the answer. Is because we can agree that how much you're going to accomplish in 3 months, right? And then how much you're going to lose after that 3 months. So after 3 months, just do intermittent bulking. Problem solved.
So after like
Yes, we
after,
literally
after a
fixed the
solid
problem
bulk,
right there.
After
a
solid
solid
bulk,
bulk,
you go into an intermittent bulk.
Intermittent bulking, yeah.
Intermittent.
You don't
bulk.
fully abandon the bulk.
Intermittent. That's a new thing. That's a new shirt. Intermittent bulking. It's like I can have that pizza. I'm intermittent bulking.
Yeah.
I'll bulk during this meal. See, now people are going to listen to this out of context, and now that's going to be a thing.
They're going to hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get rich off of intermittent bulking now.
I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna do. We'll do that. Maybe you'll be on. Maybe you'll be in the background. You'll be like the Robin.
Can I just be in the background eating a giant pizza, just stuffing my face? Can I?
No, because I'm gonna do it
show
today.
Intermittent bulking.
Intermittent bulking.
This is what it looks like. Just
be-
being a piece of shit in the background.
just B-roll of you just sitting like alone in a restaurant eating pizza.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I only bulk in a 6-hour window. But that's where it's going to. So I've heard. So after the carb confusion, first off, you had muscle confusion.
Yeah,
That was
muscles,
the
that was
the big thing from P90X, and that has
That's a big thing. That lasted for a while too. Muscle confusion.
No, it's still around.
Yeah, it's still around.
Because it's a real thing, but people took that out of context, and then it became. So muscle confusion went from okay, you're changing the stimulus.
Right.
So you remember your NASM.
Yeah, of course.
So for those that don't know, Jeb taught the same NASM program that I did, so he knows all this shit. So remember how, okay, you change the stimulus, the alarm reaction, right? You change, and that makes sense. You change your environment, and then if you expose to that environment, like if you live in warm weather, you'll get used to it. You go to cold weather, you get used to it to a point, right? So after a while, if you keep that stimulus the same, you're going to adapt. And it takes time. You can't just change it randomly.
Correct.
So that's where like CrossFit or real, like when people take that muscle confusion, where as we would understand, oh, you're going to confuse the muscle after like 6 weeks, right? Or 2 months or a month. You're not changing it every fucking workout, like random shit. Because then it's just random stimulus, and then there's going to be, if there's no like pattern or program, there's going to be no adaptation because your body is just reacting to shit.
Sure.
It'll try to adapt as much as it can. So that's where muscle confusion went. Now it's just like everyone just fucking does whatever. It's like that's the most important thing is just to do random exercise and do it for entertainment rather than a goal. But you played football, so you know what it's like to like progressively train for a season.
Sure.
Versus like I'm just trying to be in shape for me.
Right.
Which is where we were just talking about a few moments
Training
ago.
for functionality versus
like I don't want to be in pain. I want to be mobile.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be in move. How old are you?
33
for them. Yeah. All right. So
33.
I'm 36 in like a couple months. So I'm 35.
Yeah.
But what I want, and I reiterate to everyone that it's not just, it's not the 35 or the 33. It's how many of those years were spent under fucking strain.
Oh
You were
my
playing
God.
football. You were lifting heavy.
Mhm.
Like, it's not 33 years. Oh, and I'm old. It's not. You're not old, but you've been exposed to a lot of overload and resistance and physical stress.
Sure.
So our bodies, although we have muscle and we have physiques, it's, you feel it. Like,
Yeah.
you feel shit differently.
Yeah, the strain, tightness of muscles over years and years and years and years has definitely taken its toll, which is why we've talked like this morning. Flexibility is so key now. As we get older, just the flexibility and everything of our muscles. I mean, just as we know, as you get older,
I just
want to
feel better.
harder to maintain.
I just want to feel good.
Sure.
I don't feel like
you wake up
being in
just
a wheelchair.
absolute pain-free first thing in the morning, and exactly.
I mean, I'm stiff. I get stiff. Like, I get up and I'm like, oh, I'm sore from my work.
Of course.
Of course.
I
You still
get that.
train to soreness? You still get sore
Oh,
from
absolutely.
training? Yeah. But you're not training to, like...
But I know what I'm going to get.
You're not doing wheelchair squats where like, you leave, like... Remember, it's hard to sit on the toilet? Remember like, those kind of leg days?
Right. It's not... Yeah, exactly. Where you, after you're done doing 12 sets of a specific muscle group, you're like, you know what? Let me do another 12 sets. Let me do another 15.
Right.
Like we were doing in the past.
I'm still standing.
It's like, oh, I can't walk? Well, let me do another set. Let me just rest an extra 30 seconds between this one.
I can still walk down the hallway.
Yeah,
it's unacceptable. It's fucking unacceptable. I'm still walking.
You're like limping out of the gym, and then you're like, oh, wait, we forgot to do calf raises. And you got to limp back and do more calf raises.
Cramping up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had dry fasting. Oh, yeah, so I did a video. There's people doing dry fasting, saying that you're building, your body is, the chemical reaction inside your body when there's no water present.
Yeah,
like,
dehydrate your body. That sounds like a great idea.
It's like, okay, your body will take a hydrogen molecule from here. It's like, your body's going to create water. I mean, there are points when, for example, where like going into the sauna or a steam room where you're because I've never done it, but I want to, cryotherapy.
Oh, sure. I've heard good things.
Mama Swole got me like one of those Groupon things, but I never used it. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I've wanted to do cryo. I heard people like it. But doing like extremes where you're going extreme cold or extreme hot, you're exercising your body's survival mechanisms, which I think is good.
Sure.
However, a dry fast simulating literal dehydration to the point of like death, it's not necessary. I feel like that's an extreme level that
complete extreme
is just way too dangerous.
Because here's the thing: at the expense of what?
Your life, your life,
exactly,
dying, literally dying, heat stroke, heat exhaustion, because you're dehydrated.
Right. If you're truly converting these various calories into some form of hydration, then you're obviously depriving your body of other nutrients, other things, other processes.
But how necessary is that? Like, I understand why you're doing it, and can it be done safely and controlled? I'm sure, right? I'm sure there's research on it. Great. But the average jabroni is going to look at a video. Oh, let me do some dry fasting. Let me follow this fucking article. That's some dangerous shit. You're literally depriving yourself of the most important nutrient, water.
It all comes back. It all comes back to everyone wants a magic pill, right? Everyone wants a magic formula. Yeah. They want the thing. All right.
They don't want to be confused, bro.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be confused.
You can't go through this life
and everything's so
be
fucking
confused.
confusing about this shit.
It's so confusing.
Because no one fact checks, no one goes through, and so many people don't know anything. I experience this every day. So it's like with doctors and pharmacists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doctor writes you a script for something. Let's say you're sick. Like, here, this is going to make you better. First of all, you're going to do two things. One, you're not going to question your doctor because, well, they're the doctor, right? They obviously know what's wrong with me, and whatever it's not like you get that prescription. It's like, well, doc,
doctor's never wrong.
What are the other options? What are the other this? You just take it, like, okay. And then when you go to the pharmacist says, well, all right, and they fill it up, and I like, if that was me, I'd just sit there and be like, okay, well, someone told me to take this, and this guy just gave it to me and told me to take it, so it must be the right course of action, right?
This guy went to school. He did more schooling than me.
But there may be like 13 other different medications that are better for me, or 13 something else that's better, or other options, but I don't know anything about that shit.
People don't realize how many different prescriptions there are.
Right?
There are hundreds of different options.
Fitness is the same way.
Well, people go to a doctor, and they're like, oh, this one doesn't work. It's like, oh, let me write you this one. Try this one. Try that one. This one may have different side effects. This is a new one that a rep just brought. Try this one, right? Like, case in point.
Right.
But yeah, you take advice from people online. But here's the crazy thing. What
But you take advice from people online that don't have credentials. At least the doctor has credentials, right? They have pharmacist has credentials.
Minimum
people
competency.
online have zero credentials. No
That's
credit.
not even true. Even credentials don't prove it because credentials are literally it's just a minimum capacity to pass a test.
True. True.
Personal training certification. Like I can put, all right. So for example, I told people, right? I've degree in exercise science.
Sure.
The same.
Same. I have the same, yeah.
CSCS.
Same.
Right.
Yeah.
And I told people like I let that expire. Like when? Like a couple years ago.
Oh God, mine's been expired for.
But but does that mean that I don't have that knowledge?
No, absolutely. Right. Exactly. Right.
But that's the point. And like it gets to the point. And we were discussing this while we were maintaining that. We're like, what are we paying for? We have to spend thousands of dollars. Remember what it took to get those CEUs? Remember you had to go to a national conference, which cost you $1,000 with like flights and the entrance, lodging, food,
yeah.
right? And then it's only it's like one section of those CEUs, like section A.
Yeah.
Then you need to pay for quizzes for each 0.1 CEUs.
Yeah.
And then there are all these different, and you're like, I'm spending $3,000 to renew this. It's like I'd rather let it expire and just fucking take it again.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, it's just a money pit. Oh, continuing education. However, let's think back 10, 15 years. Where else did you get your information? You got the journal.
Sure.
So now the internet, it's like, I'll just fucking look at the latest research on PubMed. I'll just go online and see what's the latest.
Yeah.
You're not going to forget your fucking knowledge.
No.
But you don't have to maintain it. I mean, if you want to say, oh, I'm certified by them, but who are they to tell you whether or not I don't need them to tell me that I still have the information. I haven't lost a fucking thing, but I can learn at an unregulated speed just by checking out everything that's the latest and it's coming from an unbiased, my filter.
Yeah.
I can filter out the shit. But what my point with all that, forget the money pick, it's a business and I get it. I'm not like demonizing it, but it's just different now. 15 years ago, you didn't have the internet to the maturity where you can just go on your phone and I can literally just search anything. But do you think it was better before more knowledge or after? Like, do you think it's better now?
After. More knowledge is always better.
Well, I'm saying from a philosophical standpoint, people can make the argument that, before it was, but then again, you have less people. It's more biased because if you had the doctor or the school telling you, that word was God's word. Now you can check and be like, well, that's bullshit. I just, this person just tweeted that was bullshit and has proof. So
true.
I think there's a lot of information, but people get hamstrung. Like, so look, we have muscle confusion. We have calorie confusion. For those of you that are just joining, I've been getting a lot of stuff about confusion and the word confusion. So I've heard before muscle confusion. Most of you have heard that. We've talked about that before. But now there's this carb confusion in one of those ads, like I mentioned to you. And now people are throwing around the phrase calorie confusion.
I love this one.
Calorie confusion.
Calorie confusion.
Now, I don't know what the fuck someone is defining that as, but can we imagine that it's confusing your body by manipulating calories? Probably by doing extreme cuts in calories. I'm assuming, again, I do not have the definition because I don't know who would be creating, like, where would you even look for in the source of this? Like Urban Dictionary? Like maybe going to like extreme cut, like 500, 800, 1,000, and then going up excess. Probably like similar to like carb cycling and shit. But calorie confusion. Confusing yourself with calories.
Yeah. Confusing yourself with the basic unit of energy. Like,
but what happens is everyone reads this. Everyone reads this and will see that phrase and will hear about calorie confusion. They will hear about restricting calories for a few days or whatever like system whoever is using this phrase is promoting. And then all of a sudden, it's just one more piece of information that's thrown onto the fucking pile. It's one more just thing that people are, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. And then everyone just wonders what they should do, debates, and then ends up fucking doing nothing and just asking questions. I think it's also just coming down to you have so much information, but people don't know where to start, so they don't start.
Yeah.
They just don't do a fucking thing because they're confused.
They're very confused. I'm confused right now.
What do you think about calorie confusion? I don't think it even exists. I'm gonna look it up while you speculate.
Calorie confusion?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's garbage.
Let's see what comes up in Google.
I bet you it's the
calorie shifting diet. No, that doesn't work.
Well, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's another
7-day calorie confusion meal plan.
There it is.
Oh, the Dr. Oz
Dr.
show.
Oz show.
Oh, so now that answers that question.
Yeah.
That answers that question.
That answers that question. Yep.
7-day calorie confusion.
What an asshole.
That guy's been confused since. I'm confused about where he got his DR from.
Yeah, no shit. It's one of those honorary like
Calorie Cycling 101. 2016. Calorie shifting diet is the most powerful. But this is, look, when you look at this and you type in something that shouldn't exist, and then you see all the results.
Here,
Look at this, 4.4 million results. You wonder why people get confused.
It's just like, a few of them.
Right. Well, someone types in, I wonder if I should try calorie confusion. You want to see what it is?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what let's
see what this clown.
Let's see what Mehmet says. Force your metabolism to work harder. This plan allows you to eat more and lose weight by alternating between high and low calorie days. Take the guesswork out of your diet with this week-long meal plan. Oh, a week.
1 week. You're going to lose a shit ton of weight.
And guess what? Guess what happens when you go off it? Just the clouds part and fucking unicorns and rainbows come down and jerk you off.
Oh, yeah.
And just fucking beat you off. That's great. Sunday, high-calorie day, 2,000 calories. For what, a grown man? 2,000 calories on a high-calorie day?
Yeah.
1 large egg omelet. Half a cup of I'm not going to read all this shit.
No, don't read all that.
Let's see. Sunday's 2,000. That's a high calorie day?
Yeah,
okay.
2,000. That's
for what? For a child?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's still.
Nice paragraph break. Just hide that in here.
Yeah.
Monday is a low calorie day. So you go from high 2,000 to a low 1,200.
You're just fucking starving yourself. Like,
and then Tuesday you go back high. So high, low, high.
But even the high, 2,000 calories is nothing.
Ready for this? High, low, high. That's the average.
I know.
Right? That's the standard bullshit.
Yeah.
So high, low, high. Wednesday is low. Are you just alternating back and forth?
2,000 to 1,200, 2,000 to 1,200.
And now,
that's all it is. Yeah, garbage.
You're high again on Thursday.
That's calorie confusion, man.
I'm confused. Wait, and Friday
That's what exactly.
It literally just alternates?
You're just alternating high calorie, low calorie days.
I thought there was a little bit more of like some... I thought there was a little bit more of like some strategy there.
There's no strat.
So here's how I can see how this would work. I will tell you. When you eat less food, here's the thing. When you consume less food, your stomach is going to shrink a little bit.
Yes.
Now, when you're having a high calorie day, you're going to get out some like binging. You're going to get out some of that satisfaction for just pounding food.
Yep.
And then on the second day, that previous day's satisfaction, because it's continuous. Like your body's always doing things. Your body's always alive. It's not like, after that end date, it's like an Etch-a-Sketch. Like It's kind of like a continuous over the course of the week. So then over the course of that time, you're generally shrinking your stomach. You're generally eating less calories over the course of a week. By giving yourself that satisfaction on a high calorie day, the psychology of, I'm eating whatever I want. I get to satisfy myself. It's one day of like a little bit less calories. You can handle one day.
Sure.
So you might lose a little bit of weight over a week. But what are you going to do? Binge? Like, come on. People are going to hit 2,000. They're going to binge. They're going to use it as a high calorie day and cheat. Then they're going to go low. Let's go back and forth. Ken, how is that any different than just having 1,700 calories a day? Your body's not confused.
Yeah, if you're not confusing your body, if you're just averaging the two.
I mean, you're more consistent, which I think if you're doing 1,700 a day, your body will adapt to more.
This shit is just freaking crazy because we both know it's a very simple formula. It's calories in, calories out. Like, that's it. It really is a simple formula.
So
you want to lose weight? Burn more calories in your eat.
It's got to be the right food, though. I'm tired.
Of course, it has to be the right food.
Well, but I slide that in with my approach as the priority, because everyone really starts to go towards eat less calories. But then if you're eating
shit calories, empty calories,
200 calorie cookies, because then you start going to fit your macros and shit, and you're not getting nutrients. You're just starving yourself. That's why people that do diets or caloric restriction, they starve and they're hungry because they're eating shit foods to begin with. Now they're eating less of these empty foods. So yes, calories in, but then if you just don't stuff your fucking face. And exercise.
Not rocket science.
Well, you'd think it is.
You would think it is.
You'd think it is. I guess people feel better eating shit for a day. It didn't seem like it was shit. 2,000 calories, you don't have to eat shit. But I don't like how it's based off 2,000 calories as if the average American... First off, the average American shouldn't be eating 2,000 calories.
Correct.
I think the average American should probably be eating... We call it unhealthy, but probably 1,500. Less. The average person, which isn't active, the average person who doesn't work out, the average person does not need to be eating food. I think fasting is great too. I think not eating, people need to shut their fucking mouths and stop eating so much food.
True.
Not eating would help a lot of people. But it's going to give me an eating disorder. If you, like, no, just eat food. I know people have weird fucking brain shit going on. People
feel better after eating shit for a day. Yeah, that's why people have the cheat day, the quote unquote
people need
cheat day.
People need a cookie like a fucking dog.
Yeah. I did good this week. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I earned a cheat.
Yeah,
I did so good, so let me fuck it up.
I ate what I'm supposed to eat this week, so
let me fuck my shit up.
Yeah.
Fasting is amazing. Fasting is very, very natural. Fasting is what your body is supposed to go without food. Intermittent bulking. That's my new thing. We're going to intermittent bulk. I think that's the video. Intermittent bulking. No, you need to fucking, if you're going to bulk, you need to bulk. And you need to fucking put that effort in for months and years. How many of you do fasting or intermittent fasting? I still don't even like what I do. If I do intermittent fasting, I don't like calling it. I don't like giving it a name.
Yeah, I don't give it a name.
I don't like giving it a name. I don't eat until later usually. I'll have coffee in the morning.
Sure. Coffee, I had a couple bites of fruit.
I'll eat before I usually restrict my eating window, so I'm not eating over like 12 hours in a period if I do that. But I usually have a sweet potato before I train, and I'll eat after. About to go get juicy, you boosh. Nice. Get some pump. Get juicy. It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
You're going to juice yourself up. Sounds like some bro science to eat pizzas if you eat a salad once in a while. That's what people mostly do for cheat meals. That's how most people justify cheat meals. They eat good often, and they use cheat meals as a justification to, but I need it. But I need a cheat meal. I need it for my brain. I need it for, like, psychologically, I need a cheat meal. I need a cheat meal to speed up my metabolism because my metabolism is so strict and dedicated and focused. When I branch out, it just lights a fire in my metabolism.
Oh yeah, my favorite's when
because I'm dieting so hard, my pizza will light my metabolism up.
Yeah, when people are like, "Oh, yeah, I'm eating healthier. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm just going to order a salad." Then they order a salad, and it's like more calories than whatever you just ate or whatever you just ordered. You can have like a hamburger.
Well, you've been to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah, you get one of those. Oh my god,
the salads are how big are the salads? I'll just get a salad, and they bring you a freaking trough.
Yeah, you would think it's like family style, like where everyone's gonna eat and partake out of the salad, but no, that's just for you. And it's got
when it goes in the middle, and it has like a tongs, and like, oh, here's a salad for the table.
Yeah,
here's a salad for the table.
It's like a salad for you,
and it has your croutons. It's
croutons,
got like your cheese.
Grilled, cheese on it.
Yeah.
Blue, like 5 different types of cheeses. Then you have your thick ass, creamy, calorie
infused ranch
dressing or whatever kind of dressing you have.
Thoughts on intuitive eating? Intuitive eating. See, what is that, man?
Yeah, what is intuitive?
What is that?
Eating intelligently.
What's intuitive eating? You mean common sense?
Yeah.
I probably what I talk about is what you would define as intuitive eating. I just don't define it. Here's what is interesting about the internet, what the internet has done. And I think we actually talked about that before we went live, that everything has a fucking name now because everyone has a voice online, because you have to define and like separate one piece of content from the next. You need to like give it a name. It's called intuitive eating. It's not carb cycling. It's carb confusion. It's not muscle confusion. It's variety. It's muscle mix up. It's, I don't know. It's
confusion.
mentally handicapped training. You're fucking mixing up your mind. You're just fucking confused. I'm confused. I'm beating myself up with a club and then trying to do a workout and trying to read it backwards, upside down. Let me turn this workout upside down. What do those numbers say? No, but intuitive eating, it just means, I'm assuming it's just you eat what you feel like you should be eating in terms of calorie like restriction. That is kind of what I promote. I promote that first. I tell people to focus on what they're supposed to be eating, and then once you're eating the right foods and your body is sending the right signals, like when you're full. When you eat junk food, you're going to overeat so fast because your body isn't setting the signals properly. You'll pound processed food. You'll get 1,000 calories before you even feel full.
Sure.
1,000 calories of like steak and potatoes. You're going to be full after like 300, 400. Like once you really start weighing out healthy food, you realize how dense it is.
Yeah.
How much you actually get from a smaller amount. And then you realize, oh, that's why people don't bulk, because I have to eat so much more than I ever thought I would. It's so much more. So much more. There's pseudoscience, like there's real science, but people are confusing. People are mixing up and trying to make different. Everyone wants to have their own categorized name for it. Everyone's trying to name every last thing. There's just more than one way to do things. Like for some people, and for a lot of people, for pretty much everyone, you should be eating the right foods. But how you approach it psychologically, what's going to keep you consistent? If some people love to count and measure,
Sure,
right? They love it. Like they're analytical, right? They have to. They love the numbers.
They like the structure of it, everything. Yeah,
so
sure.
that person, okay, you're the type of person that's going to do that. Then count your calories, micromanage, do it. If that's going to be what you like, if that's going to be what keeps you consistent. But for the most people, that's not how you want to live your life. Most people shouldn't be. Most people aren't stepping on a stage. Would you agree? Most people don't need to be weighing their food and measuring every last fucking day. I'm talking about the most 99%
I see that shit all the time. Yeah.
The majority of people, you're looking at the back of a package. If you're looking at the back of something to see, is this too many calories? You shouldn't be eating it. Like you, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
You shouldn't be eating it. If you're wondering, oh, is this too many calories for these chips? Put them down. Like you're not going to be like, oh man, I hope I'm not eating too many almonds.
Yeah,
How
right.
are you going to overeat? No one's gotten fat from almonds ever in history. I always try to use this analogy. Like if you want to simplify what, go like this, right?
Who gets fat off it? Just
dude, oh my stomach.
Apples all day.
Too many sweet potatoes, bro. I've been too much grass-fed beef.
Right.
You've never heard that ever. That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, too many apples, too much mangoes, bro.
Yeah.
That mango game. No, what do you say? Pasta, bread, all the beer. They call it a beer belly, pasta,
for
grains.
A reason,
yeah, they call it that for a reason because you're not getting a stomach from eating bananas.
Right.
Like, oh man, too many blueberries. I gotta stop eating so much fucking low glycemic fruit. Never gonna get fat from fucking fruit. I guess it's possible if you have a fucking genetic disorder. You have a real problem. I put sweet potatoes in my air fryer. It was good. I've never used an air fryer. I just bake them.
It does sound good, though.
My question is a little unrelated. I stayed the 90-day dash. But I find that I can only do like 1.5 push-ups. Can I skip an exercise for the time being if I physically can't do it? No, just got to find a variation. Everyone can do a push-up. You just have to change the angle. Do something more vertical. Do it more against like a wall or a bed or a bench and focus on the negatives. Check out push-up negatives. There's master classes on that, I believe, in the group. But you can always do the lowering motion and then drop to your knees, go up to the top, and just do the lowering motion to get stronger for a push-up. Everyone could do a push-up. Everyone could do like an isometric hold. I shouldn't say everyone, but most people can do it. Even just holding at the top is great for core strength, but doing negatives. But that's a great way to do to learn how to do push-ups. Do it on the edge of a bed. Do it on the edge of like a chair or a table because you're still doing a push-up, and then as you get stronger, you just go more horizontal. Basically, common sense for the intuitive eating. Yeah. I like common sense. I try to use common sense. But if you go through an elimination diet, you go through like the proper way of eating, the proper way of approaching, and then in the future, like when I talk about how I eat, it's important to understand where I came from. I'm not new to this. I've been eating and paying attention to my food for like 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever it is, years.
Yeah, long time.
So once you're aware of it and once you do the measuring, like I don't have to measure every fucking day. I know how much X amount is, like, because I used to do that back in the, but I figure out what foods work for me, what I like to eat, and you know this, like I eat the foods I like to eat, and I'm consistent with it, but I like them. I don't restrict myself. I eat food. I just like what I like, and I eat it.
True.
You know, and if I want to make a decision whether I want to have some whiskey or whether have something that I know I shouldn't have, I'm a grown ass man, and I'll make that decision. But most of the time, I don't want to.
Right.
And I think that's where people that feel entitled, like, oh, I need to find a cheat day. Like, you want to find a way to eat where you don't need a fucking cheat day. You're not looking for that. If you want to be a grown adult and make a decision and have some pizza, what am I going to, like, in terms of listening to this podcast, what am I going to be like, oh, you're bad. You're a bad person. It's like, you're a grown adult. If you want to eat pizza, but if you're going to eat pizza and complain about love handles not losing them.
Right. Understand the consequences of your actions, you know.
Take
some accountability for it. Yeah,
it's responsibility, accountability. It's all those things. Don't complain and not be doing everything that you should be doing.
I mean that's just
responsibility.
It's a systemic problem of nobody wanting to take any kind of accountability, responsibility.
No responsibility
for any everything.
Eighth place trophies, bro.
Everything is someone else's fault now. everything is
Well,
someone
you
else.
have this
It's the
experience dealing with like doctors with parents because of the
oh,
kids.
oh my God, the stories I hear, it's nobody's fault. Nobody has done anything wrong. It's everybody else's fault always. It's the most
It's not you, bro.
unbelievable thing.
Yeah.
It's the most unbelievable thing.
It's not you, it's me routine.
Yeah.
What happened to that? What happened to that?
Yeah, what happened to that? What happened to
It's not you, the Costanza.
Yeah,
it's not you.
Yeah, it's
You
not
give-
you, it's
You're
me.
giving me the it's you, it's me routine. I invented that. Who do you think? Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you are? Remember, he's like,
Yeah.
Who do you think you
are?
The nerve. I grew up in a poor house, so I'm super picky how I eat, which sucks. You're super picky because you don't want to spend money on food. That's the only thing I spend money on. That's the only thing. No, that's the only thing I spend money without
Thinking about the money. that you're spending.
Right, because I don't spend on anything else. Like other things, I'll be like, okay, can I afford this? Is this a good decision? Should I invest this?
Yeah.
Should I put this aside?
Oh yeah.
With money, I'm like, oh, I want to eat these foods, and because I know I give myself enough leeway to buy the foods that I want, so I don't like sit there and calculate.
Mhm.
But that's because that's the only thing. Some people like watches and
Oh, yeah.
shoes and
Dude, I'm the same way.
cars and shit, and I don't
Yeah.
care about that.
Yeah, I don't care about anything.
What-
The thing that I noticed that I
Mm.
will spend my money on and not worry about it too much over other things is when I go out to dinner. If I go out to dinner and I see something that I want and it's a little bit higher price, I get it. So kind of food similar, but mine's more prepared food. But anything else, I'm always completely going down to the nitty. Do I need this? Do I need this? Do I need to make this purchase?
Yeah, what's
Is
a
this
better
going
deal
to be
here?
on sale soon? Or like I'm the guy, like if I go to the store and there's soap and it's on sale, like buy one get one free, I'm getting 4 of those motherfuckers. I'm gonna ensure that I at least got 2 of those free. I'm good for at least 6-7 months of soap and 2 of them.
If you're gonna use it, that's just a smart purchase.
Sure.
If you're gonna use this stuff.
There's like the one guy that, because razor prices for some reason, like disposable razor prices have always just gone up like way past the rate of inflation. I don't know why they're so expensive
Like
now.
Gillette razors,
Yeah.
like $30 for a 4-pack.
Yeah, it's like when
it's
did that
insane.
happen?
It's insane.
So there was a guy. There was an article. God, when I was getting my MBA, I was reading something about it, and there was a guy that bought like 5,000 cartridges of razors at like X amount. They just went to a grocery store or went to a Sam's Club, whatever, and just bought all these razors. And he's estimated. All right, he estimated that he had like 20 years worth of razors now, and he would estimated save like $74,000 on razors over the next 20 years. I'm like, what the? Who?
Yeah, until they create something that's like, oh, this is a better razor.
Yeah,
that's gonna like last forever.
last forever.
They'll just create like a coating on it.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
that's where all these like.
But would they? But
the shave clubs came out and were
Right.
like, we'll just give you new razors for a discount.
Do you think Gillette would come out with a razor that could never be disposed of?
Of course
Like an
not.
actual perfect that never lost its sharpness
it's like
or anything?
no.
Because they would put them out of business.
No, everlasting
want-
gobstopper. Sell one piece of candy.
They just go from like 2 blades to 3 blades to 4 blades to 20 blades.
They would do that if like when you use the razor, it would like run ads for you, or it would do something.
Yeah.
Like it would just you know.
Yeah, as you're shaving.
No, every time.
Like at the gas station when you're pumping gas, there's like a video ad.
It
now.
comes-
It's like, what I have to watch commercials when I pump my gas
You
now?
never have to buy another razor, but you put it in the charger, and while it's charging, like it plays like an ad, like
Yeah,
an
it plays an
advertisement,
ad or
like this.
something, yeah.
Enjoying your razor? Well, you're really gonna enjoy this new.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, just fucking resharpen. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Just hit the button now and tell Alexa to buy it now.
That's true.
They wouldn't, just like cars. You know, parts are made to break.
Yeah.
Like do you think they could look synthetic oil? You can make an oil that lasts
Yeah.
100. You could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You could, but it'd be more money too. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you get what you pay.
Money-
You
money
get what
grabs.
money grabs.
Money grabs.
Too many clementines. You watch your fucking mouth. Too many clementines. I've been eating some. I love them. I go through periods where I just pound mandarins. I love those little oranges. They just peel so nicely and they taste so fucking good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
So good. Yeah, Juju, I would do what Sharon says. Change your incline, push off a wooden box or step. That's what I would do for your push-ups. Bodybuilders in the mid-1900s got results without internet noise, BS trends. Yeah, they also did things wrong. Look, but that's where I use that joke a lot. I say, "What Arnold didn't do that."
Yeah.
And it's kind of silly. And yeah, of course, he doesn't do a lot of things that we
Sure.
would do now that are better. But when you think about equipment, you don't need anything besides free weights.
Yeah.
Like you don't need it.
Correct.
So when it comes to, you've seen this? We probably talked about it before, the blood flow resistance. You've seen that way you put the bands around your arm.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They have the ones that they sell now, like, cut off blood supply. And I think there's actually like studies that show, okay, but it makes sense from like a rehab standpoint.
Yeah.
Like if like you're trying to get your ACL back, you tie it off and you're at a therapist office but I mean, guys in the gym doing that and like you don't need that to build muscle. Come on. Like,
yeah.
And so people ask me, what do you think about BFR, blood flow restriction training? I'm like, even if the study shows that it could be beneficial, which it might, like,
by how much would you really?
That's exactly the point.
Like,
I say, dude, you don't need it.
Yeah.
So whereas all these little gimmicks or thing, or this apparatus or this angle or this, they're cool, right? It doesn't mean they don't work.
Right.
It just means, like, do you really need to worry about the 500 things that they could work, but how much of a difference? It's like taking glutamine. Are you going to notice?
Yeah.
Is it a placebo effect? Are you taking glutamine and 80% of your muscles made up of glutamine? Like, I don't notice a thing versus when I used to take that shit and when I don't anymore.
Right.
I don't notice a fucking difference. But I mean, you can't tell if it's a placebo or not, because what are you doing, scientific tests on like your blood, and like you don't know. If you're taking a supplement and you have a great workout, maybe you think it's a supplement, but how would you know? The placebo effect is legit.
Yeah.
And you just can't tell anymore. So I went around the world with that. What were you just talking about in terms of the supplement? What was I just talking about? Not glutamine. Oh, whether or not something's working, like the blood flow restriction.
The blood flow restriction, yes.
Yeah. You ever did that, right?
No.
Nah, fuck that shit. But it's like anything else. All the little grips and the things that they have, the hooks, and I call them tools. I call them tools, like in your toolbox. How often you use like a Phillips head? All the time, or whenever more often.
Right, more often than
how often are you going to use
like a socket wrench? Yeah.
I mean, when you need it, but maybe once every couple years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You have it if you do, but it doesn't mean. I mean, when you have an auto shop, you still have all the tools to do everything.
Right, but you're not going to always,
You don't rebuild transmissions every day, or
correct.
You'll do oil changes. So like the barbell, the dumbbell, some bands, cables. It's like, just fucking do that. Most people just don't train hard enough, period. You don't train hard enough with the basics. So what are you going to get with like a new gimmick?
True.
What are you going to get with like a new little thing? I use a vintage safety razor, just replacement, like the single blade. I've never used one of those. Those always scared me. The big ones where it's just like all plastic and like a little tiny blade. Like, I hope I work. I hope I'm sharp enough for you, because if I don't work, there's no backups. You have 3 or 4 other ones. I think there was a video when it did like the Schick or the Mach 3. It's like the Mach 9. It just had like blades on blades. Like you go there and go, done. Just fucking shaves everything.
It's done.
Just 1,000 blades. 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. Oh, dude, a couple days. Game of Thrones fans.
Game of weekend.
Game of Thrones. Oh, no, 10 days. Today's the 4th.
Oh, yeah, 10 days.
10 days.
So that should push the trip off 1 week. We could have experienced that.
Sick fucking games and making games.
That's going to be I can't wait for that.
It's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be so good.
Game
of Thrones fans,
GOT.
Anyone?
Shit's going to go down.
Anyone planning some epic cheat meals? Some epic cheat
Some
meals?
epic cheats.
Some Game of Thrones confusion? That's the ultimate confusion. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. I'm stoked.
Daenerys donuts.
Well, they have the Oreos.
So,
they have the
they have
Oreos.
Game of Thrones. Of course, they have Oreos for everything now.
No, but I saw a thing where they had on the Oreos, they had all the sigils. Like the Stark, like the wolf and everything. And then when you opened it up, it had the Night King, like on the white. It's creative.
A buddy of mine said he was going to get the dire wolf symbol, the House Stark symbol, like tattooed.
No,
swear to God.
No.
And so I'm like, bro, they're on their last season.
Did you? Well, they're gonna.
Maybe you should have done that like 7 years ago.
Well, they're making more shows.
Oh, they're gonna have so many spinoffs. Oh yeah.
Probably. No, they're making the prequel. They're going back like the Long Night. Like they're making one, I think, from like all the way back.
That makes sense. There's so much money to be made in it. Jesus.
Well, it goes to show like, I don't think we're gonna find out the ending on purpose. I think they're gonna leave like some stuff untold, because what are they gonna do? Are they gonna what's a prequel gonna tell us?
Prequel's gonna. Well,
I do not. They have to. It's gonna be interesting because they have to have closure, but they don't want to piss off the audience, because if they have a shitty ending, which it won't be, whatever it is gonna be, they're gonna do it right.
Yeah,
but whatever respect. But I'm just saying, like, are you going to? Because you can, from a show standpoint, like they are like, fuck your books, you're gonna die, and we're gonna keep on making content.
Yeah, forever.
So like, there's like this window, like, what are we gonna do after? The writers are planning something.
Oh, they
for
are
in the future, because it gives them options to go back in time or go into the future.
Yeah,
you never know. Hand grip strengthener. Bran is the Ice King. Maybe you. Who knows?
Oh yeah, maybe he is.
Go into those conspiracy videos on YouTube. You watch like one popped up my feed, and I clicked. I'm like, uh-oh. And there's like all these other ones, like, season 8 theories, and you watch it, and these people that just read the books and analyze every frame. Every fucking frame they analyze, and it's fascinating. Like, oh my God, people have time.
Oh yeah, they really do.
But I guess I use my time for training and all this. Like, they just analyze Game of Thrones video. I'm like,
I've seen those pop up on my YouTube.
They're fun,
a lot
though.
of it's like for Marvel stuff. So like when
right,
Captain Marvel came out, it was just like 9 things in Captain Marvel that prove what's going to happen. And
it's cool, though.
And I'm like, what? To be like, all right, did you see in the mirror in the back of this office in this one scene?
What movie were you watching?
There was a little figurine, and that figurine could be like linked to the comic book back in 1985. I'm like, what?
I wonder how often like
they do that.
People call this out, and the writers are like, did you do that?
Yeah.
Did you put that in the back? And someone's like, guilty.
Yeah.
You fucking with people's heads?
Like, if you notice, there was a McDonald's cup, and like the producer's like, "Oh, I forgot to take my Coke off set. My bad." They're like, "Oh, in this comic book, Tony Stark flies to a McDonald's and he orders a McFlurry." And like, that
means he's gonna link those two worlds together.
He's definitely gonna beat the shit out of Thanos because he got a McFlurry, bro.
The McFlurry universe. The McDonald's universe. McDonald's verse.
It's like, what? Who thinks
Never watched Game of Thrones, too busy making gains. I'll tell you one thing. Game of Thrones does not inhibit gains whatsoever.
No.
If anything, it improves it.
It improves it, yeah. Testosterone levels probably rise.
And Builder of the Wall. I've never watched the Game of... well, you definitely haven't if you call it the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like, I've never seen...
You play the Game of Thrones. You don't watch
the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
You are. House Swole.
Yeah.
House Swole.
Ooh. House of Swole.
That's going to be my episode on the 14th.
Yeah,
House of Swole.
Yeah.
House Swole.
House Swole.
My sigil, the beard sigil.
Yeah,
fly it high.
It works.
Flay the beard. Dish Network doesn't have HBO anymore, so I'm out of luck. Just get it on your phone.
HBO Go, bro.
HBO Go. It's $15.
2019. Same 2003.
HBO is gonna make $1 billion for April and May, and then everyone's gonna cancel. $14.99 a month. You get the first 30 days for free, so your free trial. Watch Game of Thrones and then cancel. So it'll cost you like $15.
Yeah.
I don't have HBO either. I wonder if I still have HBO Go. I wonder if I can. I think I can.
Hulu. You can pay. You can get these things through anything now.
You can have them add on to Hulu.
To anything.
You can get separate, or they can do like
my Spotify
an add-on.
It's got a thing from Spotify. I guess like I get 3 months of Hulu for free. I'm like, or I know my Hulu's now is included with the Spotify subscription. So I'm like, how do I link that?
I like how
do I link that?
I like how they're doing it though. I like how the software companies.
But
they're not like fighting each other.
Yeah,
they're banding together.
They have to against the Apple machine and the Amazon machine.
Well,
the Amazon machine.
But I think it's smart too, because like HBO is like, well, we don't have to have our own thing. We can also just patch onto other things. Like just charge $4.99 and take a split, promote it, and give us $4, take one.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, okay.
Before Jeff Bezos gets it all.
And Jeff Bezos he already has it all.
He
has everything.
He doesn't have enough.
I don't think he can even stop it.
He can't stop. We can't speak anything bad about Jeff Bezos because he's listening.
Oh, because he's listening right now.
Right now.
Well, he's listening through Twitch too.
Yeah, he owns that too.
Because I'm streaming on that.
Yeah,
so
he's listening in two multiple varieties.
Banging Jeff, if you're listening, JB.
Yeah.
What a great name! You can call someone, "Hey, what's up, JB?" Yeah. If I ever made anyone, I'd be like,
that one South Park episode. South Park did a great job making fun of Jeff Bezos and Amazon. But like one of the punishments Jeff Bezos implements on the whole town of South Park, he takes like their Prime membership away, and like it's like the Great Depression goes over. They're like, I can't get, we're not Prime. They're like, oh, it's okay, we're basic members. Oh, and he's like, it's not the same, Sharon. It's not the same.
They're like shivering in the corner.
Yeah. They're like, where are my packages? Like, I don't get it next day. And they're like shaking and stuff.
My God,
dude, it's brilliant. You know how those guys are. It's brilliant.
I love South Park.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I see clips all the time.
Yeah.
You don't even need to see the whole show. Once you see like a good amount of them, you just picture the entire episode.
They're just still as brilliant as ever, though. It's just amazing. It's like on like 23 years or something ridiculous, and they're still.
Yeah, how long? Literally, let me look it up. South Park.
I want to say like 23 years.
It's got to be super long. Let's get the Wikipedia up. 22 seasons.
Oh, I was
think
close. I was damn
I think
close.
it says 22 seasons. Yeah, it's 22
seasons. I'm damn close.
300 episodes.
It's amazing.
And what year?
They're almost enough to have one episode for every calendar day of the year. That's
Original release August 13th, 97.
97. My God.
97. So 97,
Clinton
I was
still president, bro.
97. I think I was a freshman in high school.
97.
97.
That was definitely
Because
middle school.
I graduated in 2001. So 90.
Insane to think about.
Yeah, 97. I guess the fall, August. This is just before I went back to school.
Yeah,
It's just for school. South Park.
Clinton was still getting blowies when this was out. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we should watch the first one. We should go
The
watch
very first
probably
episode.
so bad.
Oh, it's probably awful.
In comparison, before
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
it's always bad. The pilots before they
Oh,
catch
yeah,
their
before they
stride.
catch- yeah.
Like
They
the-
remember they used to cut them out by hand. Those little figures. Like now it's all
Yeah.
computerized. Yeah, they used to actually cut
Can you
those.
imagine how easy it is for them to bust out an episode now?
Oh, they said
I mean,
the turnaround's like 24 hours now. Not
Obviously,
even.
because they have so many people. I mean, they
Yeah.
have the technology and everyone working for them. But yeah, you take like stupid, simple animation and add technology, and you can just flip that shit around.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're so good, because they're so contextual. Like, it's literally what happened this past week if they wanted to. If something happens, they can just turn it around in like a day, like you said. But it could be something that's literally in the news. So it's just that extra.
What the fuck was it? I'm just looking at Meredith with Busker. Wasn't that like a band back in like the 90s or early 2000s?
No, she's what the fuck was Busker? You're asking about an app. No, Busker was an app like 3
Oh, it
years
was an
ago.
app. I thought that was a band.
It was
I thought we were because we were talking about the 90s and
No,
everyone's being
busking.
nostalgic in the chat.
Busking is what you do on the side of the street. So if you're doing comedy or like your guitar, Jeb, on the side
Yeah.
of the street, you're doing your busking.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Busker was an app that I was streaming on
Right.
in 2016 and 17 because it was brand
Yeah,
new.
back in the day.
It was brand new when live streaming came. And
Yeah.
I wanted to get on something. If I could blow up on a brand new platform, and it got big,
Mhm.
and I was like the number one fitness channel on there. So I was streaming every day, but it was new because you could donate. Like you could hit a button, kind of like how Twitch.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
so
I
you
remember
can
telling
you
about
can
this.
donate
Yeah.
live on Twitch. So in other words, that came out, and then PayPal changed like their payment structure, and then everything else came up, and they just kind of
Went away,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just got. They didn't have a it wasn't a proprietary like tech or concept. Everything else just implemented it.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I guess they just went under. Queen Sansa, Dish Network. We're still talking about that. Oh, scroll down. Case closed. The anime has 900 episodes. Case closed.
Is that a show?
Is that a show? I've never heard of it. Is that an anime show? I don't do anime. Japanimation? Afghanistan animation. Afghanistan animation. It's Afghanistan animation. The butler, he gets into all these hijinks. And, Super Troopers. I just remember your early casts. Yeah, I was streaming Busker at the beginning. Early cast. I hope all of you, I know it might be cutting out, in and out, the video. I've seen I don't know if the connection, sometimes the connection is kind of weird, but Instagram is about to cut off, so we're about almost an hour. So for those of you that are catching the tail end of this episode, we'll wrap this up, but the gist of this, we started off talking about calorie confusion, muscle confusion, all this confusion bullshit, the unnecessary confusion that's going on in the fitness industry with health and all that bullshit. So we talked about that for a while. We talked about South Park at the end.
At the end.
We talked about cheat meals, those are nutrition-oriented. We talked about bulking, intermittent bulking. We just coined something, so I'm sure someone said that before. But we're going to be intermittent bulking today. So you bulk from a couple hours a day, then you cut for a couple hours. Just complete life confusion. It's called the life confusion plan, where you have no idea. Like
no idea where you're going. Every
someone
day.
splashes water on you like 3 a.m. Get up, Meg. It's like random drill sergeant. Yeah, so we talked about all sorts of stuff. Remember, everyone, Jeb is here for the next few days, so
Yay.
he'll be here, and we'll be jamming on the reg. So make sure you check out the latest drop on YouTube. Brand new Ask Papa Swole on YouTube. The details are in my Instagram story, so you can go there, check it out, subscribe. And I would like to put some more nuts on chin, so I might be doing another episode in the next day or two. But make sure you subscribe over on YouTube. Check all the content on Instagram and the like. And we will be here tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1064 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast. In the realm, because when I flex and Jeb flexes, we all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio, and Jeb. Out. Peace out, fam. Later.
Later.
Later.